Okay, our objective is to apply what we learned in Chapter 7 and solve word problems based on any of the methods. So we're going to talk about setting them up first, and then we're going to talk about whether graphing, elimination, substitution, or matrices would be the best method to solve. Once we figure out what the best method is, I know some of you guys prefer matrices, some of you prefer elimination. You can use whatever method you want, but we still need to know, well, what is the best method to use? Okay? These, I think, are easier than Chapter 5 word problems. I think you guys will agree, because when we set them up, they are all going to be in standard form. So they're all going to be in AX plus BY equals C form. There is not much room on the paper that you're working on, so if you guys need to use a piece of scrap paper or a notebook, that's fine. Of course, I'm having difficulties here. So if you guys need to use different paper, go for it. What we're going to do for each problem is identify X and Y, write down the equations, method, and then solve. So let me read number 1, and then I'll keep you guys organized. So again, if you need paper, there's paper back there. Feel free to use your notebook, because I didn't leave you much room here. Okay, so number 1 says, at an ice cream parlor, ice cream cones cost $1.10. Sundays cost $2.35. It then says one day the receipts for a total of 172 cones and sundaes were $294.20. How many cones were sold? So first of all, what do you think X and Y are in this problem? So step 1 is identify X, identify Y. There's 2 different things they're talking about. Anyone want to take a guess? Okay, we're going to do X as ice cream cones and Y as sundaes. Now, the reason that I chose that is in the problem they talk about the ice cream cones first, how much they cost, and the sundaes second in regards to how much they cost. Typically, and I'm going to shut these lights off so you guys can see, the one that comes first is typically X. The one that comes second is typically Y. Now, does it matter if you flip them around? No, because you're still going to get the same answer. Now, the tricky part is coming up with the 2 equations. In this case, one of them deals with cost, and one of them deals with total ice cream and sundaes purchased. Have you guys been to Handel's yet? Up at McCandless Crossings, that new ice cream place? No? Have you guys been to Handel's, that new ice cream place up at McCandless Crossing? Where the new Lowe's is, the LA Fitness? Don't know where that is? Okay. Try it at some point. It's really good. Well, your one equation is going to deal with cost. So you're going to pull out everything you know about the money. Here's how much the cones cost. Here's how much sundaes cost. Here was the total purchase. The other equation is dealing with how many cones and sundaes you purchased. So here's what I mean. Ice cream cones, $1.10. Plus sundaes, $2.35. So sundae cost goes with Y because that's Sunday. Ice cream cone cost goes with X because that's X. The total cost is $294.20. The second equation deals with, in this one, the total amount of cones and sundaes purchased. What do you guys think the second equation is going to be? Anyone have any idea? If 172 were purchased, Jackie? Good. X plus Y equals 172. We do not know anything else about how many were purchased. We just know a total of 172 were purchased. However, we know a lot of information about the cost. So is everyone okay with how we set that up? Okay, what method would be the best method to use to solve this? What do you guys think? There's decimals. Well, yep, let's use a matrix. So I'm going to do this one with you. Let's go to our calculator, since it's Monday, in case you guys forgot some of the steps. And if you need to clear the memory, go ahead. If not, go to second matrix, edit, hit enter, make sure it's a 2 by 3. And let's type in the numbers in standard form. So X plus Y equals a number. So 1.10, enter. Second is 2.35, enter. 294.20, enter. And then the second equation is 1, enter, 1, enter, 172, enter. Oh, that's wrong. 172. Okay, once you have all your numbers in, second mode, go back to second matrix, go to math, go up to RREF, which is the capital letter B, hit enter, go back to second matrix one more time, hit enter, enter. Okay, what does that mean in this scenario? So 88, 84, what does that mean? Look at your X and look at your Y. Travis, what does that mean? Good job. So they purchased 84 ice cream cones. Oops, did I do that wrong? Sorry, 88. I was trying to memorize that. 88 ice cream cones and 84 sundaes. So your answer is X equals 88 ice cream cones, Y equals 84, and that deals with sundaes. So yes, you should still write it as an ordered pair, but I also want you to explain, well, what does that mean? What does X mean? What does Y mean? Do you guys think those are easier than chapter 5's? Remember chapter 5 with like 2 points, then put in point slope form, find slope if you need to. Yeah, I think that you'll think these are easier if you don't already. Okay, any questions? Okay, let's go to number 2. Number 2, I'll read this one and then we're going to go through the same process for all of them. All right, so you purchased 8 gallons of paint and 3 brushes. The total for that is $152.50. The next day, you purchase 6 gallons of paint and 2 brushes for a total of $113. The question is, how much does each gallon of paint and each brush cost? So what is X and what is Y? Melissa, what do you think? Y is what? I have them flipped, but it doesn't matter. You can do it that way. So I'm going to keep X as brushes. Oh, wait, actually, let's do it because you are correct. The way that it says. We'll keep it like Melissa said. Sorry, guys. So X is paint, Y is brushes. The reason we're going to keep it like that is because they are talking about paint first, brushes second. So paint first and then brushes. Okay, we need 2 equations here. These equations are a little bit different than the first one because they give you a lot of information about each equation. So neither of them is going to just be X plus Y equals something. So what do you guys think one of the equations is? Well, what do you think? Good, good. 8x plus 3y equals 152.50. And Matt, what's the second one? Good. 6x plus 2y equals 113. Okay, what method do you want to use on this one? Which one do you think is the best? Now, I think you guys could say 2 different things here. Rena, what method do you think we should use? Okay, matrix. Would anyone use a different method? Just curious. Okay, I would use matrix 2. You could use elimination. It's just a pain because of the decimals. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you have your calculator, go to your matrix, go ahead and type in 152.50, etc. And one of your answers is going to be a decimal. And I'll go through that up here while you guys are doing that. This takes a little bit of time, but again, once you guys get a little bit faster with it, you'll be fine. Say, do you have your calculator or no? Why don't you go get it? Good practice for you. Okay, did everyone get 17 and 5.5? Okay, Haley Waters, what does that mean in this problem? Yep. So 17 gallons of paint were purchased and 5.5 brushes. Actually, sorry, that is the cost. Because if you buy 8 of them, how much did it cost? So you need to keep your dollar signs there. $17 for the paint and $5.50 for the brushes. So the X and Y there was the cost of each of them. If you use elimination or any other method, you're going to get the same answer, okay? But again, remember in this one, X is the $17 for the paint, Y is $5.50 for the brushes. Questions on that one? Okay. Let's take a look at number 3, and then we have you guys try one on your own. Okay, number 3. Okay, it says, shopping at Savers Mart, Lisa buys her children 4 t-shirts and 3 pairs of pants for a total of $85.50. She returns the next day and buys 3 t-shirts and 5 pairs of pants for a total of $115. What is the price of each t-shirt and each pair of jeans? So what is X and what is Y? Dirk, what do you think? Good. Good. So I'm going to put cost of t-shirts, so we're more specific this time, and cost of the pants. Okay, well, we need to find the price. Just like in number 2, we're finding the price of these. Okay, what is one of the equations? They're always going to be in standard form. Well, what's one of them? Good. 4x plus 3y equals $85.50. Jake, what do you think the other one is? Good. 3x plus 5y equals 115. And do you guys agree matrices is still the easiest? I think so too, again, because there's decimals. So go ahead, I'll let you guys just do this one this time. Solve using a matrix, and I want you to tell me what you got for x and what you got for y and what it means in this scenario. This one you'll get decimal answers for both of them. You're off a little bit. 4, 3, it should be 85.50. Not 85, that's why. Is this your answer? You're off a little bit. I typed one thing in wrong. That's weird. Unless it was me. Yeah, don't worry about it. There, you're doing it on that. Okay, you guys are pretty good. All right, Matthew, what'd you get for X? What'd you get for Y? Good. So $7.15, and you said 18.5? Okay. Melissa, you're fine. Okay, so the cost of the t-shirts, which is X, is $7.50. The cost of the pants is $18.50. Easy. Okay, number 4, I'm going to have you guys do the whole thing on your own. And no, my grandma does not have a bakery. I think Mr. Warnock made this up a couple years ago. Okay, so it says... Does your paper say Grandma's or Galeotta's? Okay. All right. So it says here, Galeotta's Bakery, and no, I don't have a bakery, sells single crust apple pies for $6.99 and double crust cherry pies for $10.99. The total number of pies sold on a busy Friday was 36. If the amount collected for all the pies that day was $331.64, how many of each type was sold? I want you to identify X and Y, come up with the 2 equations on your own, Tell me the method you used. The answer will be nice. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes. I want to walk around and make sure you're okay. If you need help with something, let me know. You're okay with the other ones, right? Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure you got this one right. 16, 20. Good job. Remember, write down what x and y are, set up your equation, and then solve using the method that you want. Once you have your calculator, it'll be quicker to solve, just so you know. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. This will help you practice for your quiz. Wait. 36 refers to the total amount of pies. That should go here. This is cost, so this should be up here. Cost goes with cost, total goes with total. Good job, Garrett. Okay, this refers to the total. This refers to cost. This is cost, this is total, so this need to be flipped. Just be careful. Good. 136. Good. Okay, let me see your equations. Here's why. This refers to cost, so this should go here. This refers to total, this should go here. So you have those two numbers flipped. Okay. Careful. This is cost, so this has to go here. The 36 goes x plus y equals 36. That's the total number of pies sold. Does that make sense? Are you stuck? Did you try anything? Okay, I want you to try to set up equations. One of them deals with cost, one of them deals with total. The first thing that appears is x, the second thing that appears is y. You need to try something. You okay? Okay. All right, Sage, what did you put for x? What did you put for y? Okay. So if you put single crust and then double crust, that is fine as well. I saw some of you guys putting single and double. Heather, what is one of your equations? Good. And how did you know to set it equal to 331? Good job. So here's where some of you guys messed up. The $331.64 is about cost, and so is everything else in that equation, the $6.99 and the $10.99. If it's about cost, everything has to be about cost. The second one deals with total, so that's why your second one is x plus y equals 36. How many total pies were purchased if those were the prices? So we're really finding the number of single crust apple pies, the number of double crust cherry pies. Something like that is what they said. Okay, I would use matrices because of the decimals. Maggie, what did you get for your answer? Good. So 16 apple pies and 20 cherry pies were purchased. You could also have your answer written as an ordered pair with labels. Either way is fine for me. Just make sure you know how to explain the answer. Questions on that one? Okay, let's do number 5 together, and then I think I want to do one more. Okay, number 5, you will be making hanging flower baskets. The plants that you have picked out or chosen are marigolds and daisies. The marigolds cost $3.20 and the daisies cost $1.50. You purchase a total of 24 plants, that should say 4, not faux, for $49.60. So we need to find the amount that we purchased. So what is X and what is Y? Amy, what do you think? Good. So number of marigolds is X. Y is number of daisies. Okay, now this one is very similar to the pie problem in regards to how you set up the equations. Zach, can you give us one of the equations to use for this one? Okay. Bless you. Good, equals 49.60. So there we go. That equation deals with cost. So you have one equation that deals with cost for everything. The second equation, Sam, what do you think? Good. X plus Y equals 24. That relates to the total amount of flowers purchased. Remember, they gave us price, so we need to find how many of each type were purchased. Again, there's decimals. I would solve using a matrix. You could use elimination, but you'd be multiplying by either negative 3.2 or negative 1.5 on that second equation, and you'd end up with more decimals. Okay, if you haven't already, take a minute or two. Go ahead and solve using your calculator, using matrices, and you will get nice answers. Yeah. And we'll do one more after this, I think. Does anyone need help with the calculator? Okay, Helene, what'd you get for X? What'd you get for Y? Good. So 8 marigolds and 16 daisies. Did anyone not get that for some reason? Questions? Okay, flip over. Let's look at number 7. Yeah, number 7. Okay, number 7 is set up differently. So let's see if you guys can figure this one out. Okay, number 7 says a drummer is stocking up on drumsticks and brushes. Okay, so let's stop right there, and we need to write down drumsticks for X and brushes for Y. So drumsticks and brushes. The wood drumsticks that he purchases are $10.50 a pair. The brushes are $24 a pair. He ends up spending $90 on the drumsticks and the brushes. Okay, so let's pause there. The equation that deals with the cost, because we're finding the number of each of these, is $10.50 X plus 24Y equals $90. So that's normal. We've been setting up equations like that. Here's the new part. It says that he buys 2 times as many drumsticks as brushes. He buys 2 times as many drumsticks as brushes. How do you set up an equation to represent that? Amanda? Nope, but you're on the right track. You said 2x plus 1y. So let me say that again. He buys 2 times as many drumsticks as brushes. Something equals something is a hint. Well, you're close. That's normal to say it that way. Drumsticks is equal to 2 times as many brushes. So you need to keep it as X equals 2Y. Will said the opposite, which is common to do, but the amount of drumsticks is 2 times as many brushes. So you need to set the drumsticks equal to 2 times the amount of brushes because drumsticks is double this. Will, does that make sense? Sure. Everyone else, does that make sense? Okay, so there's 2 things we could do here. What's one method we could use? What do you think would be the most obvious method, Amanda? Yeah, I would say use substitution, but could you use a matrix? Yeah, you could. If you used a matrix, what would go into the matrix? So we know the top row is going to be 10.5, 24, and 90. What would go in the bottom row if you did use a matrix? Matthew? Close? Did you say 2? Okay. Close. Go? Yeah, y negative 2. Yep, so when you subtract 2y to the other side, it becomes negative. Remember, if you're using a matrix, you always want it in ax plus by equals c form. So you can use that. If you prefer, use substitution, plug that in for x. You end up with 1050 times 2y plus 24y equals 90. Multiply, solve your equation. You end up getting, I think you get nice answers. You should get nice answers for these. So you can use either way. If you're solving using a matrix, go ahead and finish up what you're doing. If you're using substitution, go ahead as well. And I'm going to have you guys tell me what you got in a second. Are you trying substitution?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So again, either way, matrix or substitution is fine. Good. 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 All right, Mamta, what'd you get? Good. So 4 drumsticks and 2 brushes. So 4 drumsticks, 2 brushes, 4, 2. That's the only different type that you guys will see is something like that. Any questions? Okay, I want you guys to, in the same packet, page 16, flip to. So in the same packet, page 16. You're going to do 4 problems right now, and whatever you don't finish is homework. And that's going to be numbers 1, 2, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, and then 4 and 5. Do not do number 3. That's from chapter 5, so don't do number 3. Some of your answers are going to be decimals. Some of them are going to be nice. Okay, so you guys can get started now. I want you to set them up the same way we did in class. So what is x, what is y, what are the 2 equations, what method is the best to use, or just which one are you using, and then explain the answer. So you can either do the x, comma, y, explain what it means, or just list it, whatever you prefer. Okay, I'm going to walk around and make sure you guys are okay. Please let me know if something doesn't make sense, if you need help with something. But again, you use the method that you prefer. Some of them will be decimals, so don't be surprised.